What's on Your Mind is sponsored by ACC 339 Dudley Road, New Star Radio 98.7 FM, Breakthrough Studios, and Reggae Jam Jam.
Good afternoon. How you doing? Welcome to another program in the series of What's on Your Mind. Program is produced by Breakthrough TV, and I am Carl. How are you guys? Hope you're feeling good. I gotta tell you, in the UK it's very cold. I've got my jacket on tonight. I'm really, we're struggling to keep warm. I gotta say, compared to the rest of the world, we're probably doing very, very well. I know places like Canada, they can have it really, really bad. So, we're doing all right. So let me say thank you for tuning into the program. And let me say, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. And it's still the new year, January. I'm a January person, I must say that. I'm not going to tell you the date because I never do that because even though you see me do this, I'm still a very, very private person. Somebody's going to say, oh, I know all about him now. I'm going to put something about him. Just kidding. I want to say big shout out to you, Mr. G. Crosser. Thanks for your message, I understand, and I hope things get better with you soon down there in Jamaica. Also, I want to say, John, big shout out to you, sir. Glad I was there to pay my respects. Big condolence to you and your family. Say hello to your family for me, and God bless you all. Now, I've got in the studio with me my very, very special guest. My guest is a poet. She performs poetry. She's a singer. She's an artist, and she does a lot of work in our community musically and help a lot of our senior citizens also in our community. My very guest is Ola Brown. How are you doing, Ola?
I'm fine, thank you, Carl.
Welcome to Breakthrough TV.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm all right,
You
actually.
good?
I'm glad to be here, yeah.
Yeah. How's your day been?
It's been okay.
Yeah?
Quite a leisurely day.
Yes.
Yeah.
How's the weather treating you?
I hate it. I don't like it.
You hate
I'm not
it?
even going to lie.
You
I
hate
don't
it.
like
You hate it. Okay. So where would you like to be now if it wasn't here in this cold weather?
Anywhere but here.
Anywhere but here.
Pacific, Jamaica, anywhere but here. It's just too cold. And
Is
it's
it?
not even as cold as it could be.
It could
That's
be,
the scary
or we
thing.
don't want that, do we?
No,
And they're talking about snow. I mean, I think some part of the country have had some snow.
I don't like it.
I don't like snow either. I don't like the cold, but I still don't like snow because
No.
you know when it snows, everything stops early on the road and everything just gets
I
and everybody
know.
falls in the queue like the normal
I
things you do. So
know, and
I
they
don't,
don't grit the roads like they used to, and then I start complaining,
yeah, yeah,
and it's not good. So, nah.
great. And I say you're a singer. Tell us a little. I'm not gonna drift very long before I go into it. Just talk about your singing. How's your singing going? How long you been singing?
It's going okay. I've been singing for about 18 years on and off
Is that
publicly.
yeah,
More, I'd say since about 2016, I've been singing a bit more.
yeah,
I think that's when I probably said I emerged as a singer.
yeah?
And kind of accepted that I was a singer, because that was a bit of a hard thing for me, accepting.
Why is that?
I think I just had this kind of impression that a singer had to be quite a polished diva type person, and I'm just like so far from that. I was just like, that's not me.
Yeah, yeah.
And but over time, I just embraced myself as I am, and just thought, well, treat my singing like I do any other art form, and just bring myself into it
Great.
honestly, and just crack on.
That's fantastic. I'm
Yeah.
going to talk a little bit more to you about that. I just wanted to break the ice and let you feel comfortable.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
it is. Don't feel nervous.
I'm all right.
Yeah, all right. That's great. Anyway, guys, I always look at a few things that is happening across the world, and that lineup hasn't changed. Now, Britain, according to the Independent, Britain should be prepared for future wars involving China, Russia, Iraq, and North Korea. According to the Defense Secretary, Grant Sharp, and he actually paints a very, very dark picture of what you could call pre-World War. And he says he's talking about the next 5 years. We hope this isn't going to happen. And when I see something like that, I always just think, what's happened to all the negotiators? Because that's what they're supposed to do, you know what I mean? And we see a lot of wars going on now, so I wonder what's happening to all these people that's supposed to negotiate and calm this sort of thing down. Ola, what do you think?
I'm just worried for the state of the world right
Of the
now.
world right now, isn't it?
Yeah,
It is.
and I try not to be. I think it's really hard with social media to avoid a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of the
yeah,
doom
yeah,
and
yeah.
gloom. So you
And,
want to be compassionate, but at the same time, it's like it's a lot.
and you don't want to say, I don't care. You don't want to say, because
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
have to think about the future.
Yeah.
And if you don't think about yourself, you have to think about future generation. Your kids, your
Exactly.
grandchildren are
Yeah,
are
yeah.
the next generation. I mean, there are a lot of people who say, oh, we don't care. I live my life. You know?
I think it's easy to be that way, but
It,
you shouldn't be.
No, no, no,
No.
no. I mean, it's. And probably, if the more of us care, maybe something would happen.
Exactly.
More of us
Yeah.
care and show that we care,
Yeah.
maybe something will happen. But everybody, boy, me just say, go and enjoy my life, I'm not going to do this, I'm going to do that.
I know.
I can't,
It's
I
terrible.
can't, I can't help it.
Or complaining about the weather like I am.
I
At the moment.
know. Guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Now, my next story, I go to Hansworth. Now, on Monday, over there, 4 children were rushed to hospital after a minibus crashed into a lamppost. The security forces was there, and they actually helped them. And there's no serious injuries. I said they was all taken to hospital, and there's nothing really serious about them. But it was good to see that actually they was well attended and they were treated very, very well. So and the police are actually talking to the driver of that. Of the bus, yeah, and so we see so many accidents. I mean, and I don't want to prejudge anything, but running into a lamppost, is I don't know. But there's a lot of people. There's a lot of reasons why people have accidents anyway. They could be, there could be all kind of different things. People might be sick and all that sort of stuff. So you can never just take it that people is careless or whatever. And I'm not defending it anyway. But
Yeah,
it's
you
just
just don't
some
know,
you
do
gotta
you?
sometimes you gotta open up the bigger picture. You know what I mean? Now, also, I want to move on to the next story. Now, traders at the Market Village in Perry Bar Shopping Centre, Birmingham, said they were given little notice to leave. That's on Friday. The firm that actually running the marketplace went into administration. And Samantha Small said she has about 10,000 worth of product and equipment, and she's actually struggling to recover those products. And I've said the traders was actually locked out and wasn't able to get back in. And as I said, this happened on Friday. They only got a very, very short notice. And so the traders are also having a meeting with the MP, Khalid Mahmood. That was Tuesday. I haven't heard any news about that yet. You know what I mean? And so we'll see. We'll wait and see what Mr. Khalid Mahmood, the MP for Perry Bar, has to say about this. And it's very shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very, very shocking when that sort of thing happens. I know this area very well, and I sometimes a lot of it goes down there. I even put up something on Facebook. Oh, where am I going to get the fish from now?
But it's serious.
Yeah,
It's a serious.
it is a serious situation.
How did it happen?
And sometimes there's a lot of stuff down there,
Yeah.
shops down there that you can get a lot of bits, like even hardware, like if you want a screw or a screwdriver or those sort of things. You know what I mean? Sometimes.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what happened to me. In the last couple of months, I've had my phone brought the screen.
Yes.
And there's a couple of phone shops down there that you can
Yes.
actually go down there and
There's just
and
everything there. That you need.
everything down there. So it is
Yeah.
such a shame, you know what I mean, to see. And 'cause it is a big space. So even if that closed, I wonder what will actually take it over, because it is a big space.
That's what I was thinking today. I walked past that space and I was thinking the same thing. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
Yeah. But as I say, a lot of these shops are closing down anyway. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, going online and stuff.
Don't know it. Okay. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe and share to the program. Now, Annie Alioido, she has left the country. She says she has to flee the country after Joey Barton make sexist abuse and attack on her and 2 other female who actually are female punters, and they actually do commentating in the role they do. And these are like ex-England players, you know what I mean? The Lioness girls, you know what I mean? But I said Joey Barton has actually called one of them, or a couple of the ladies, let's say they're like Rose West, you know what I mean? Or also Fred West. He's also called say they're like Pol Pot and Stalin. And I think he's actually having a go at their commentary. And she said she's actually has to leave the country because the thing that is happening on social media, and she's actually frightened of what is happening, how this is turning out to be. So she said she has to leave the country, and she doesn't feel like coming out of her house because of the attacks of the sexist attack that Joey Barton has actually put out there. And she says she's seeking her legal team, you know what I mean, and see what her legal team has to say before she actually pursue with the case further. Now, watch out for that, of course, because I'm sure you're going to be hearing more and more about that case. Sexist people. What do you think about sexist people? Sexist? Talk to me about it. You know, sexist people.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, in this day and age, people should know better, shouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think probably because, you know, I mean, I can prejudge it. I think probably because, I've seen this before. I have seen this before. Let me say it now. I have seen this before. I've seen that where there's some football pundits, men mainly, are saying women shouldn't be commentating on the game, which is absolutely stupid. I've seen that. I've seen that in the media. Don't tell me you guys haven't seen that. I've seen that, which is absolutely ridiculous. You know what I mean? If you're good at the job, you should be able to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't know what is going on. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on there. So yeah. And I like to know, this I can't like, but I don't really think it's like. That is actually Joey Barton. And let me move along. That is actually the gentleman. I don't know if it's a gentleman who's actually the sexist comments. Now, and I like to know, dancehall superstar Sean Paul, better known as some people call him Shonda Paul. Sean Paul has actually, a day after his birthday, he's actually comes in at the story, and he says he's not getting involved. But what he actually says, he says his birthday wish was that because Steph London and Jay the Kingdom to sort of make truce, because they've been having a go at each other for a long, long time in different songs and calling all them kind of things. You must have seen it. It's big story out there. You know what I mean? I'm not even going to get into what they've been calling each other because I don't want to get into the conversation neither. Because I don't want nobody cuss me out. I'm broad enough to take it and I can laugh at it. Because you see me can laugh anyway, so we just laugh it off.
Don't you want them to fight over you?
No, I don't want them to fight over me. But Sean Paul has said they should actually call a truce. And he actually said, this is what he says, and he said there should be better role models for onlookers, you know what I mean? And then he also says, women, no fit talks, so. That's what he says. He says, women no fit talks. Talk it in patois. Women no fit talks, so. You know what I mean? And this is what he actually wrote on Instagram, you know what I mean, on Wednesday. And he's actually tagged both of these ladies. And he actually says, please do better, you know what I mean? Don't follow the waste them himself. Yeah? Don't follow the waste them. Now, I must tell you, Sean Paul has actually collaborated with these two ladies in the past. You know what I mean? He's actually worked with them. You know what I mean? So he knows them very, very well. Yeah. But I said this story's been going and going and going and going. And I haven't said anything about it. I think a couple of weeks ago, I was saying to my producer something about it, but it's been going. They've been having a go at each other like nobody business.
I mean, it's just over Burner Boy, isn't it?
Of course, well, you know.
I mean,
I don't, Mr. The African giants, they call him Burner Boy.
Well,
you like, it's about Burner Boy. Okay, you seem to know a little bit about this. Tell me about it. You're not saying
no, I've got to behave myself.
I know, but I say,
yeah.
We hope anyway, as I say, we hope things settle down and they call it truce and they be friends again.
I'm sure there are many giants out there. I mean, come on.
Yeah, because you know, and the other thing, you know, it doesn't. What it does, it influences the younger people. That's where this goes. You know what I mean? And anybody can look out at me. I mean, okay, it influences a lot of a younger generation, and younger generation growing up, and teenagers growing up, and who are fans of these people who say, "Oh, you see what me? I'm gonna make a cuss out over there, so."
Yeah.
And that's what it does. You know what I mean? Let me talk it in that language. That's what it does. You know what I mean? So, yes, I think Sean Paul's got a point there, but I gotta say as well, Sean Paul is also getting burned by some people as well.
Really?
Yes. He's getting burned on social media as well. So I don't know what's the matter with people. He's already started the year and everybody's burning out everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Those of you who don't know what burn means, It means have a go at people and you know what I mean, and cuss them out. I hope you know what that means as well. That's another statement. Now a bit more news. Still with Jamaican artist, Jamaican model turned artist Sandra Rose is looking to find her foot in the dancehall field, and she's actually released a single called Whiplash, and she's actually has a video to go with it. So we wish her every success. As I said, she was a Jamaican model, and we see how she does in the future with her single. Yeah, don't forget, guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the program. Wow, she looks up.
That was
Yes.
great.
Ola, so how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
You enjoy the show so far?
I am, yeah.
Thank you.
That's great.
She said it's great.
Topics, it's like, wow. Yeah.
Now, musician, artist, music.
Yes.
As an artist, where did it start for you?
I've always, how can I explain? I've always been able to sing, I suppose, when I was quite young.
Yeah.
But it was something I just never really believed in. My mum was always like, oh, you've got a lovely voice and so on. But I was more into kind of dance because I used to do tap and ballet.
Okay.
Do you know Sandra Golding? She's quite well known.
Yeah, I know Sandra Golding.
She had a dance school. I was one of her pupils many, many years ago when I could do the splits without injury.
Serious?
And all sorts, yeah. But yeah, so my mum always said I had a good voice. Didn't really believe it.
Where's your mom from?
She's from Jamaica.
She's from
mum was
Jamaica?
born in Jamaica.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Westmoreland.
A Windrush generation, I'd say.
Windrush generation.
Great, yeah.
Yes. And believe it or not, I first started singing publicly when I was bullied at school.
Serious?
Yeah, there was a school bully. She didn't like the fact that I had hot Ribena in my lunchbox and gave me grief. And she heard me singing one day and she's like, right, I want you to sing. I think it was a Michael Jackson song.
Okay.
About the age of 8, I had a little bit of a experience of singing in front of my classmates. Painfully, but it was all right. And then I didn't sing for many years until about sort of 18 years ago. And I started just doing backing vocals for various people and working with bands and stuff. But it wasn't often, just every now and again.
Yeah.
And then in 2016, things took a bit of a turn. I started singing with a friend of mine who had a show called Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
And I found that through singing for him, I started connecting with other people more and more and got more opportunities. And then it just kind of grew from there.
And where was the show Saturday Night Live
Saturday
take
Night
place?
Live, it was a place called Fleet Street Kitchen in town, sort of Newhall Street side of town.
Okay. Yeah.
That was a great experience in terms of working with other singers and having to be a front person because I quite like being in the background. So I kind of pushed towards doing more and more. And then, yeah.
So let me ask you then, probably way back. When was the first time you sort of get on stage? Was that when was the first time you sort of get on stage?
And the first time I got on stage was
On your own there, like the first. So I always ask this question. It's a bit like on your own. The first time you ever drive a car on your own. The first time you get on stage on your own.
It's probably about 2016.
Is it?
About that time. So I still didn't do it often, but yeah.
And how did you feel? Was you nervous?
Very nervous.
Is it?
But I just went for it. I think it's great when you're working with really good musicians.
Yeah.
And other vocalists, it becomes like a family situation, so you support each other.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've always been fortunate to work with really good, sympathetic musicians and singers, and it makes all the difference.
And
I've been quite blessed.
what are sort of the genres of music you do?
I do everything: reggae, soul, funk, pop, rock, a bit of rock at the moment as well.
Yeah.
So the whole kind of spectrum. The only thing I don't do is death metal or heavy metal or anything crazy like that. But or opera.
Great. And who are some of the musicians you actually work with? Musicians, you say you work with musicians?
In the past, I've worked with, I'm going to throw some names out there now, and they're still quite busy, like Rob Carvello, Patrick White.
Oh, no, is that White? Is that
White?
Is what White is not
White.
Yeah, it's Patrick White. Yeah.
Patrick White. I've worked with a woman called Julianne Bastock. Loads of people. Just Mabun J. Harrison. I've just thrown all these names out there. Lots of different people over time. Currently working with a gentleman called Pete Hyde a fair bit.
Okay.
And he's got a band called Pete Hyde and the Veillards, which means the old gits in French. and that's good fun.
What sort of music you're doing there?
It's sort of more like blues.
Okay.
And
You
a
love
bit
the
of
blues.
funk, a bit of old soul.
Okay.
Yeah,
And how you finding that?
I really enjoy it. It's good fun. I think it's important to have fun, and that's what I'm realizing. I think I took it all quite seriously before. The singing, like I had to be the diva and the polished and go out there like
so
Shirley Bassey, like
so you was
big mouth
you
and stiff.
you was like a diva like. Was you a diva? Did you see
I
yourself?
wasn't.
Okay. Did you see yourself as a diva?
No, I think I thought I had
Oh,
to
come on, let's
be.
run. Let's rewind. Let's rewind it.
No,
Did you see?
nah, no
No,
way. I
no,
can't do it, man. Nah,
no. You never see yourself as a diva.
nah, no.
And,
Leave that to Beyonce.
and what are some of the places you've actually played around in Birmingham City Centre or outside Birmingham City Centre?
Yeah, both in Birmingham and outside. I mean, recently I did a gig at the Symphony Hall, which was a great experience.
Yeah. Great acoustic in there, isn't
Trio.
it?
Absolutely
The
fantastic.
acoustic
One
in
of the
the
best.
acoustic is in there is brilliant. You know what I mean?
And 'cause I lost my voice recently as well, and I've just started to recover, and I've got it back. So when I did the Symphony Hall gig, my voice wasn't back 100%, but because of the sound, because of the acoustics,
The acoustic in there.
yeah,
Yeah,
and my voice was well supported. It just made such a difference.
It's a great room. It was well thought about. Money, it spent a lot of money there.
They
You know?
certainly have.
Yeah. What are some of the other places you're doing across the country?
More like, I mean, gosh, mainly Brum. I haven't really gigged. Well, I've done a couple of gigs in London. I wish I could remember the name of the place. It's shameful that I don't. I can't remember. I'm going to be saying that a lot.
Yeah.
But
You got.
yeah, and embarrassing myself. But yeah, most of them are local.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are some of your favorite artists? Say favorite artists. I know that's a hard one. You know what I mean? Your influence. Who influenced you? Who are some of your favorite
I'm a
artists?
big fan of Prince.
Yeah, big fans of. You know, I actually was playing. Sorry, I actually was playing one of Prince's very very old song before. Now a lot of people,
Yeah.
because before Prince he actually changed. Before he actually changed. Before he, from when he steps out of the Rick James stable.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
you know, when he steps out of sort of what we call the Rick James stable,
Yeah,
and he's moving, and have you ever heard this song called "I Want to Be Your Lover"?
I love that. It's one of my favourites.
Jesus,
And I did sing it once.
it's a great song, isn't it?
Many years ago. I love it.
Yeah, because that style is so different
Yeah.
to I say when he steps out of the Rick James stable.
Yeah.
That style is so different. That is one of my favorite Prince tracks. You know what I
absolutely
mean?
love that
Long
song.
before the days of Purple Rain and all that sort of stuff. That's great.
Yeah, I love Purple Rain as well. Actually, that's the thing. He was so diverse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And,
Amazing. So he's one of my favourites.
yeah. Who else is your favorite?
Quite like Chaka Khan.
Yeah,
I
a
love Tina Turner.
A lot of people like Chaka Khan. You love Tina Turner, like the great,
energy.
the
is
great
just,
Tina Turner. You know.
yeah. Even like artists like Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
There's loads. Aretha Franklin, she was all right.
Yeah, the Queen. The Queen. I do love Aretha Franklin. I do
Yeah.
love Franklin. And you're involved at the a very treasured studio, they call it.
Yeah.
You're involved at a very treasured studio, the Grosvenor Road studio
Road Studios.
in Handsworth, which is a lot of people have recorded over the years, from the 60s, from
Loads
the
of people.
I think people like from the Move from Birmingham, Mike Sheridan, Carl Wayne. So many different people has recorded from like the 60s up. So
Stingray was recorded there as well.
yeah,
Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds was recorded
Yeah,
there.
amazing place.
The sound effect. What's it like being in that building? What is it like being there?
Fantastic. It's I just feel so blessed being there, and to be able to do sort of community music events there as well, and be trusted to do those kind of events and support artists in those spaces. It's just a blessing.
And how do you go about? You say community music. How do you go about that? Explain that. Elaborate for me. How do you go about doing that?
So we've got this event called Music Exposed, and it's all about platforming local artists, but also about giving audiences access to the arts, because a lot of times I think there are so many barriers to access the arts, like lack of money, you know, paying to go into spaces. And I think as well, this side of the city, there isn't really a scene like in Moseley and Kings Heath. You've got a lot of places where people can get together, perform, showcase, whatever. So Grosvenor Road Studios, it's kind of like a bit of a hub, and it provides just a platform, a voice to these artists. But I just What was the question? This is going to happen a lot. See, you've got a question card.
I said, how do you have got a question card? I said, how do you get involved? I said, how do you get involved in it? And explain the whole community project to me there.
Yeah, how did I get involved?
And explain to me how it works, the whole community project.
So I did this event at another place called the Centre of the Earth, and somebody who was then working at Grosvenor Road Studios, who knew me, asked me if I could bring community music to Grosvenor Road Studios because I had nothing like that there. And they just wanted a place where the local community could access live music and artists could be supported in the studio. And they just thought I was the right person to do it because I know a fair few people and I do community work anyway. They just thought I'd be the right person to bring that event there. So we tried it about 5 years ago, a couple of times, and then the pandemic came and kind of put a stop to everything. And then we're just kind of picking up again. So now Music Exposed, the event is actually part of something called the Doorstep Carnival as well that takes place at Grosvenor Road Studios. Have you heard of the Doorstep Carnival?
When does that take place?
That's in August. We had it last year and the year before.
Explain that to me.
The Doorstep Carnival is about bringing a carnival on your doorstep, and because we don't have carnival in the park anymore.
No, we don't.
Grosvenor Road Studios,
Okay.
and the partners that they work with, because I think it's called the North Birmingham Alliance. This kind of whole partnership with different organisations. Just thought it'd be a great idea to have a carnival back in the community, in the core of the community. And again, like, people don't have to pay for food when they go to this carnival. There's a procession. There's a music stage that I will curate as well. And yeah.
And this is all in the area of Grosvenor Road?
All in the area of Grosvenor Road.
On the street?
Yeah, the procession goes out onto the street.
Goes on Grosvenor Road?
Yeah.
That's great.
It's been fantastic.
How come I haven't heard of that?
Probably because it's fairly new. I think we had 500 people turn up the first year.
That's great.
And the last year, I'm not quite sure how many. It was less, but still a good amount of people.
Yeah.
And we're hoping to have more this year. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, I guess I was just recommended to work there, and I've been given free rein, pretty much, so trust me.
Okay. That's
to not do any harm in there.
And have you got a team around you that works with you, or how do you do about this?
Pretty much just kind of been left to get on with it, but I am supported by a couple of staff members.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
And who are some of the people that you come in? You say age range. Can anybody come?
Anyone.
What age? Yeah.
Anyone can go to Music Exposed and enjoy it, and the performers are anyone and everyone as well. I've introduced a more sort of open mic element to it as well, because before it was just like people would come into the studio, see a performance, and we'd all go outside and do a jam session where we'd have a music sharing. But I've tried the open mic formula a couple of times, and that goes down well because there are no open mics this side of the city. Everything seems to be Kings Heath, Moseley, which is great, but
I think the only one I can think of is the Wednesday open mic fever at the Legacy Centre.
That's right, there's that one.
Every first Wednesday.
First Wednesday. Music.
Yeah, the Legacy Centre of Excellence, Patters Lane. That's the only one I can think of.
I've performed there a few times. I love it.
You love the Legacy Centre.
This Culture Jams event, fantastic.
Yeah, she's been on this show. Great
I'm
lady.
not surprised. She's wonderful. Great personality.
If you get a chance, you go. She cracks me up. If you get a chance, go watch a program which makes Miss Culture Jams that we done here.
Yeah.
When she talks about the poem, the soup. She goes one of. I gave it away, didn't I? She gave us one of her poems. And, oh Lord, when you hear the poem, you fall in love with the poem. because my producer is cracking up now.
Yeah.
Because you thought you fall in love with a girl. And all the time it was a soup.
A soup.
It was the Saturday soup, but the way she presented it was absolutely
like all the different ingredients, all the little things.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Have you done any recording in the Grosvenor Road studio yourself?
I haven't actually.
Yeah, that's unusual.
I know.
Yeah.
I haven't.
And when does this when are you able to do it? What are the time you do it? Time range?
The Music Exposed event.
Yeah, the helping adults in the community, working with the community. What times do you do that?
I normally do that kind of thing. It's a project by project basis, so it just depends. Like, things are pretty quiet now, but probably from about next month onwards, I'll be doing sort of arts and crafts with adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you also work at the Lapworth Museum? You got
At
some?
the Lapworth Museum, I put on a live music event there called Live at the Lapworth, and that's good. So that's normally sort of from autumn to winter.
And how long have you, autumn to winter, that's pretty long. How long have you been doing that? It's just, how it runs?
This will be the 3rd year now.
Is it?
Yeah.
And what are the times spent for, what are the times for that?
So that normally runs from about October to December, and it's just like a once a month event. So it's just like one night of live music. So it'll be a different band every month.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's a
Great.
good one. I think we're going to start it in June this year, though. I started a bit early because it's been so successful over the past 2 years. And because basically the Lapworth, it's a museum of geology, and they want to bring in more diverse audiences. And the music seems to be a great way of engaging people and getting different people to come into the museum.
Okay.
So that's kind of the whole vision of having live music there.
And have you got a site or a website or a number that we can to sort of attracts more people?
Me personally,
I've got to ask you that tonight.
I am just
or who can we get in touch
I
with?
am the rubbishest person when it comes to things like that. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to pretend. People just like how you did find me on Facebook and then hope for the best. That's not how it is. I'm so bad. I keep being told about that. Have you got a business card, a website? No.
You don't got a business card. You need to work. You need to work on it. Great.
I do. I've got a lot of work to do, Carl, for real, man. Seriously. Yeah.
Right. Tell us. You do a lot of poems.
Yeah, occasionally.
How did you start with poem? I mean, you say you want to do a one woman show.
I do want to do a one woman show. How did I start with poems? I was hanging around with some musicians and singers many years ago. But I used to just journal mainly. So that's how I would write, just write diaries and complain in them about life and stuff like that. And then I started hanging around with some musicians and poets. Wrote a monologue that I performed at the Tate Modern. Didn't do anything for a long time after that. And then eventually was asked to perform here in 2016 as part of an International Women's Month event.
Where?
Here? The New Star
Where? Yeah, okay, from this building.
In this building, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I wrote some poems for that particular event, and then it just kind of took off from there. I met Miss Culture Jam at that event.
All right.
She invited me to Wednesday Night Fever, and yeah. So I perform every now and again.
Yeah. What sort of poems? You have to do us a poem. What sort of poems you do?
They are a bit silly. Do you really want me to do a poem?
Of course I do.
Did you want me to do it right now?
I'll give you a couple more minutes. And I was saying, how do you get involved in working with more people in the community, and how do you get involved with that?
Usually word of mouth, and there are just like a handful of organisations that I always get commissioned to do projects with, and fortunately they'll always come back to me if there's anything that needs to be done or any community work they want to do or engage any communities. They'll just commission me again and again. So,
and anyone is involved. Anyone can take part. Anyone can take part.
In terms of the workshops, yeah, depending on the project. I mean, I've worked with like Syrian refugee families, so sometimes it's quite specific in terms of what the outcomes are.
I saw something where you say you work with refugee migrants.
Migrant families.
Migrant families. How do you find that?
That was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have certain, how can I put it? Certain people have certain perceptions, etc., about migrant families, which I didn't have. I was very open and I really wanted to work with these families because I hadn't worked with these kind of groups before. But it was an education, because now I can challenge people and dispel any myths that they might have about refugees and you know, refugees apparently do or don't get or do or don't do. Because I've worked with these people. And I was going to say, I can speak on their behalf.
I was going to say, how do you find them? Because we hear it. We heard it. I mean, I said, how do you find it? How do you find it? Or they come to this country, could take this and take this and all. We've heard it because we used to hear it with our people as well.
Yeah, exactly.
when our parents come from the Caribbean or West Indies or where they're ever from. So we've heard it before. So
Yeah.
So how do you get on with these people? What do you say to these people who actually say things like this? Because you have to say you're close up working with these people.
I just, I would just disagree. I'll educate them when they say things like they get easy housing or they can just walk into the country and get benefits. No, they can't. You know, a lot of times there's a lot of hoops and hurdles, and they are running away from genuine trauma
Yeah.
and horrific circumstances, and not just coming here just for the fun of it. And a lot of them had lives at home, you
Yeah.
know, stable family lives at home before war and despair and destruction hit them. You know, so not just coming here for the fun of it, and it's they have to get used to a whole new way of life, and that is hard for them. That's not easy. So for me, I'm not going to tolerate any of that kind of talk without saying something.
Mm.
You know, because we knew what it was like. Things were said about us.
Of course, anyway.
You
And,
know,
and, and that will never
so
change. You're always going to get that anyway. And even I've heard this now.
yeah,
Even I've heard this from
yeah.
my own sort of descendants people
I
saying
know.
exactly the
That's a
same thing.
shocking thing.
And it's like they just put everything out of their mind.
Yeah,
Oh, we'll forget the past, we'll be happy now and we are all right, we're doing fine. I gotta talk in that language.
yeah. For
We are
real.
right now, we're doing fine. I've got this and I've got that.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know that never happens. That never happens, what I mean. I find out a lot about it with our so-called people,
Shocking. Shocking, and I just want to.
Right. As you know, I'm nearly ready for the poem now.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Go on then. I have.
You said your poem was a bit.
They tend to be generally. I mean, this one is it's about the aging process.
Is it right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which we've all got in common. Which each and every one of us got what in common.
we've all got this in common. And this is well, it shouldn't be too long because I don't know how much time I've got, but it
Yeah,
shouldn't be too
you've got time. You've got
long.
time.
So this one is about aging disgracefully,
Okay.
and it's called Onwards and Downwards.
All right.
So I have changed some of the language for everyone out there. Okay. So it says, when you get older, your ping pongs will drop. Well, that's what I've been told. The aging, the maturing, the utterly reassuring effects of getting old. No longer retracting when the weather gets cold, hanging around all shriveled and bold like runaway gerbils tied to string, descending down your leathery shin. You'll need nimble fingers to tuck them back in, but you won't give a because you're old. When you get older, your breasts will slide down and scrape the tarmac upon the ground. They'll flap in the wind like the ears of a hound and rise like a kite 10 feet off the ground. Like the wings of an eagle in mid-flight, like 2 paper plates thrown in a food fight. Tuck them into your knickers and tights, but you won't give a because you're old. Are you all right there, Carl?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Leave me alone.
Wearing your dentures, but you won't have dementia. No, you do have dementia, but you don't have your dentures. Yes, I do have dementia. No, but you have dementia. But he has dementia. And Jesus has my dentures, and your brain will forget what it's told. You'll go for a walk in your socks and pants, but you won't give a because you're old. Chatting up women 1/10 of your age, sitting on a park bench and winking, looking quite dapper in your corduroy trousers, a whiskey in the flask that you're drinking, thinking, I could show her a thing or two. Slipping between her curtains, got a twinkle in me eye, give it a ruddy good try. For this, you know I'm certain. She, however, will not be impressed, and the only curtains you will be parting are the ones in the old crematorium where your coffin will be departing. Pushing in the queue at the bus stop, arguing with your friends on the road, hitting random strangers with your walking stick, but you won't give a because you're old. Blue rinse perm, fur-trimmed hat, see your neighbours for a chat. Tell your daughter that she's fat, lose your dentures, kick the cat. Read a paper, drink your tea, like things how they used to be. Go to market, buy your food, slap a teen for being rude. Antiques, roadshow, songs of praise, crossword puzzles, good old days. Gulping down the cod liver oil, love life's not gone off the boil. Bingo nights, bingo days, bingo wings and theatre plays. Catch the bus, take a ride, pass some gas and let one slide. You're a chicken, not springed, but well seasoned. For each wrinkle, a story is told. With a limp in your step and a swagger so bold, but you won't give her because you're old. That's it.
Have you got another one for me?
Are you sure?
Of course.
No.
No more.
When I come back.
Just one more. I can deal with this. I can deal with it.
Oh, Carl.
Yeah, I can deal with it.
Uh,
It's absolutely great. I mean, listen, it's January and we need cheering up, isn't it? The weather's bad and we need cheering up and we need a great laugh.
oh, we need a great laugh.
We need a great laugh.
I might. Ooh, should I do this one?
So you do the great. And how long does it actually take you to sort of, while you're looking, how long does it sort of take you to write a poem? How long does it sort of?
Depends. Normally not that long.
Depends on what.
Oh, I'll see something or just think about something and I'll just start writing.
Mm-hmm.
I might, like this one, for example, which I might do is, I mean, I think a lot of women can relate to, and it's one of the earlier ones I wrote, and it's simply because I hate changing rooms and I can never seem to fit into the clothes, and that's where this one came from. Shall I do it then?
Okay, do it.
It's called Square Peg Round Hole. This is for all the ladies out there who feel the pain. And this is called Square Peg Round Hole. Right. You walk into the shop to find something to wear. You put on enough weight, but you really don't care. You find a pretty dress. It looks a bit small. You're sure that it will fit you, so you take it to the store. You step inside the cubicle. You leave your child outside. You try to pull the curtain around. It isn't very wide. You take off all your clothes and study your reflection. You look into the mirror, shows up every imperfection. Your child starts to whinge. You say, shut him out. If you don't stop your noise, I'll give you something to cry about. You reach for the dress and pull it up your thighs. Goes only halfway up and you suddenly realise it might fit you better another way instead. So then you take it off and put it over your head. You try to pull it down, but the dress gets stuck. Pop, 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 pow. The stitches start to brock. Big robot shoulders like Optimus Prime. You need to pick a bigger dress. You need to take your time. Now you're tied up in an awkward position. Just to get the something off, it's going to be a mission. What are you going to do? You'll be stuck like this forever. They'll find your tied corpse in here, all dry and tough like leather. Stop hyperventilating. Calm down, woman. Calm the frock down. Excuse me, would you like some assistance in there? No, thank you. I'm just fine in here. You're a writhing beast in a floral despair, with a dress on your top half and a body that's bare. As you dance and prance and contort and twist, as you dislocate your shoulder, as you sprain your wrist, as you pop your neck, as you break your spine, as you crack your fingers and you wiggle and whine. Excuse me, do you need my help this time? No, I said I'd be fine. Wrestle, shuffle, tussle, fight. Wrestle, shuffle, tussle, fight. Wrestle, shuffle, tussle, fight. Wrestle, shuffle, my head feels light. Is this how it will end? A tragedy for sure of a dress that killed a woman in a department store. Hang on a minute. Did the dress just move? It might be coming off. Did the dress just move? Release the shackles, baby, from a dress too tight. Pull it, pull it, pull it. Fight, fight, fight. You feel the stitches popping, but you care no more. You slay that floral beast and you throw it on the floor. Freedom! Excuse me. Can you come here? Do you happen to have this dress in a bigger size? That's it. Thank you.
Great, marvelous, absolutely marvelous. You make us all laugh out there on this cold January winter afternoon. Let me say, absolutely, thank you,
My pleasure.
Where are you playing next? Where are you actually playing? Do the shows next? Tell us of any upcoming shows.
I've got a gig in a pub in King's Heath. Tomorrow night.
Which pub is that?
It's called The Station.
Okay, The Station.
That's tomorrow night.
What time does that start?
That's at 9 o'clock,
Okay.
and that's with the band Pete Hyde and the Veyards. So.
What's the whole lineup of the band? Big. Is it a big band?
Fairly big. I think there's about 7 of us all together.
Okay.
Keys, sometimes sax. Drums, bass, guitar. Pete, who's the lead singer, who writes some of his own stuff as well. So yeah,
And any more events coming up?
got a few things coming up next month, mainly with Pete again, the same band.
Okay. What's the name of the band?
Pete Hyde and the Veyards.
Okay, great. Give it a shout again.
Yep, Pete Hyde and the Veyards.
And that's there.
We'll be at the Station Pub tomorrow at 9. If you check out Pete Hyde and the Veyards on Facebook, you'll see all the gig dates there, because my memory is terrible.
Okay.
I'll be doing some recording as well in April with the Groovy Shirt Club, which is sort of more rock type of stuff.
And is that at studio?
Yes, probably London.
Probably London studio.
Yes, waiting for the details on that. So.
Okay, great,
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing I want to ask you, right?
Yes.
The program is called What's on Your Mind?
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to ask you before I wrap it up, what's on your mind?
What's on my mind?
What's on your mind?
Shopping at Lidl, I'm afraid, at the moment. I kid you not. The cupboards, fridge is bare, everything's bare.
Everything's bare.
Everything's bare.
Well, you've got some money though, haven't you?
A little bit.
Okay.
Not as much as I'd like.
Right.
Yeah.
That's absolutely great, fantastic. Now, guys, I wanna put something in the mix. Right. Now, why do people? You're a poet, so you probably wrote about this. Why do people actually cheat on each other?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. And why do people actually have affairs with each other? Why do people actually cheat on each other when they're together? And when you're married, or you're not married, or your partner, why do people do that?
Look at me.
Why do, I'm showing it out there. I'm showing it out there. Why do people do that? Any answers?
Oh gosh. They're not communicating often. They're not happy and they're not communicating
Yeah.
with each other about it. And things break down maybe.
Yeah. I got a couple of. I've asked you that because I've got a couple of answers.
Go on.
I talked to Kenneth Paul Rosenberg, and he's an author, and he's an author of Infidelity.
Yes.
I tried to pronounce that right. Infidelity. I did it right the first time.
You got it right, Infidelity.
Right. Now, he actually says, right, the relationship wasn't fulfilling anymore.
Right.
That's why people cheat, right? They didn't think of the consequences. That's a good. So they're cheating and they didn't think of the
It's not
consequences.
because Denzel Washington or Jason Momoa has moved next door.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that.
Yeah, no, nothing to do with that.
Okay.
They gotta rush for it. They gotta rush for it.
Yeah.
They suffer from low esteem.
Yeah.
Yes?
That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
That does.
Now they crave for sexual variety.
That makes sense too.
That makes sense. Here's another good one. They wanted revenge.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Gosh. Yeah.
Yes. They wanted revenge. Now, the relationship wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They wasn't in love anymore.
Yes.
Yes.
Fall out of love.
All reason for cheating, yes.
Incompatibility.
Now the one lady, this isn't from the same isn't from the same author. This is from a different author. And she actually says the one big answer, she says there was a happy.
They weren't happy.
They were unhappy.
They weren't happy. Yeah.
They weren't happy, and that's what she actually says. But there's a lot of reasons why actually people actually cheat or do
I think
different
so.
things.
Because if you're not unhappy, you can just buy cake. That's what I do. Carrot cake specifically.
Carrot cake
is great.
You like carrot cakes?
Yeah.
And the one I actually found, which was strange, and when I actually found it strange. Now my partner, this one lady, she actually, I came across her on social media. This is my partner,
Yeah.
and I was together for many years, and then my partner decided to have a go. This is a lady speaking, to have a go with my mother. Her husband was, with her mother.
Come on.
And that is not the verse of it. That is not the verse of it. Her husband was with her mother while she was pregnant.
Wow.
Yes. Now, can you imagine that?
That's
You
awful.
can't. So she,
That's
she,
ultimate betrayal, isn't it?
yeah,
Really?
it's the ultimate betrayal. And she says like her mother was always sticking up for her husband. You know what I mean? And her mother only come to help out. And she was really helping that, wasn't she? So I've not.
She was really helping out.
She was really.
Well,
She was. Well, that is actually a very very bad one. You know what I
that's
mean?
terrible.
Yeah. And I say I don't know how people sort of do that. You know what I mean?
And how do you resolve something like that? How do you?
Yeah. Well,
Sort
how do you resolve something like that with
Yeah.
your son-in-law?
You'd lose a lot, wouldn't you?
Your son-in-law doing it. You gotta say that. Your son-in-law doing it to your mother. Why? It's not funny. Carl. Why you laughing? You laugh too much.
Why?
Carl, you laugh too much, and you laughing. It's not funny though, really. I can't keep serious about this. It's not funny.
I'm unhappy with your daughter. Can I take my trousers off now?
Yeah,
No, it's inappropriate. You
it's
don't do that.
It's ridiculous.
That's
So
just
those are
terrible.
those are some of the. I mean, I don't know what reason he had to do that. You know what I mean? And I think she was actually there was another system where he was actually saying, don't tell. And she found out, and she was saying, "Don't tell your mother that I tell you." And then he was saying he's gonna tell his friends that his mother actually told her instead of him telling his wife. Complicated, isn't it? On this January afternoon.
That is just some EastEnders plot line.
He's not the plot line.
That's crazy.
It is crazy. It is.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I mean? I just say, you don't wonder why. But see, people cheat in all kind of different ways. You know what I mean?
But they do. I mean, some people argue, that human beings aren't meant to be is it monogamous? I can never say that word, and that's another topic.
Yeah.
You
Who humans are meant to be.
Yeah, like are you meant to be just one person, or are you meant to be more, or
Is that because people have always cheated? You know, people from beginning of
since
time.
the dawn of time, absolutely.
From beginning of time. Is it because we are more aware of it now, or I know society's changed over the years, and is it because the opportunity is there more and more and more and more and more often? And I'm not having a go at anyone here.
Yeah.
So let's rewind.
Yeah.
So in the Victorian times,
Yeah.
so women wasn't going out as much as they
You're
are.
right.
You know what I mean? In Victorian times, women wasn't sort of going, and I'm not having a go at women. You know what I mean? So women wasn't going out as much as they, and I'm not. Don't get me wrong, man and women cheat. Let me get that straight. Women wasn't going out as much as they are. So the opportunity wasn't there.
right,
So
yeah.
as we move into different times,
times,
the
different
opportunity
lifestyle.
of
Yeah, and with technology as well, it's so much easier.
That's right,
To
yeah.
cheat,
Yeah,
to connect, to go on dating apps, to conceal your identity,
yeah,
to catfish, to whatever.
I mean,
Do you know what I mean?
people can go on like what you say, dating app. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, I'm not in a situation to do that, but I could never do that anyway. You know, what I mean, go online and
No, I
meet
can't
somebody.
say I've done it
I don't.
myself.
Sorry.
I've not done it either.
No,
I know people who have.
I could
but-
never do it. I know people who do. I know people who actually meet their husband or their wives,
And it's been successful,
And it's been
but-
successful. You know, what I mean, and then other people who meet their wives and girlfriend, and it hasn't been successful. So
Yeah.
it can work both other ways. You know.
That's so true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's what it is: lifestyle and technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I say the whole things is changing over the years, you know what I mean. But I say that is one to think about though, the way they
And is divorce easier as well? Are people like less likely to feel that they're necessarily tied to something these days? I mean, I don't know.
So divorce are much easier now, do you
I
think?
don't know if there's such a stigma about kind of separating these days either. Like, people probably don't fight to stay together as much. I don't know.
As much as they used to.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. And the problem though, if you are in a situation, how much do you want to fight to stay in? You know what I mean? If you're unhappy, if you don't like what somebody's doing, if you're in a relationship and you don't like what somebody's doing, and you know what I mean? And even though I mean, I wrote a song many years ago, right? And this song was wrote, there's got to be something deeper than love. Does that make sense to you?
Perfect sense.
So there has to be something deeper than love. So even if you love somebody, right?
Yeah.
And it's not working.
Yeah.
You might as well get out of it, isn't it?
I agree, because it's about compatibility, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. And
the end of the day.
if the person is not compatible with you, if you can't see their ways, or they can't see your ways, or you can't understand, and you can't sit down and talk to them about their ways or your ways and make it, you know what I mean? What is the point instead?
It's true. I think life's too short in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
ways.
And I said many, many times, we're only passing through.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, we're trying our best most of the time, really, aren't we?
yeah,
You know, so, nah.
yeah.
I've got 2 cats.
You got 2 cats.
That's about as exciting as it gets for me. There's me giving advice, and I've got 2 cats at home.
Not to get anything about cats. I'm not going to say anything about cats. I could, but I'm not.
2 cats and an empty fridge, and she's there talking about, couples and relationships and stuff like that.
Oh, gosh.
That's so funny.
That's great. Ola,
Yes.
it's great to have you in the studio. You enjoy
Thank you.
it.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been a lovely-
It's been
you
good
must
fun.
come back again.
I would love to.
I'll bring us some more poems. And next time you come in, you're going to sing. Next time you're going to...
You're not asking me, telling me you will sing.
You will sing. You will sing
I
next
will
time you
do.
come back, yeah?
Yeah,
Let me say thank you for coming into the studio and having a chat with us.
Thank you so
And I've
much.
been our first guest on New Year's.
Oh, great.
In January, which was absolutely great because we have fun.
Yes, we did
Yeah,
have fun.
so, yeah. And, don't forget, guys, you can go back and watch all of these programs. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the program, yeah? Want to say once again, Ola Brown, let me say thank you. And look out for Ola Brown, guys. She does wonderful work. And as I say, I would tell her where you can hook you up, but she can't remember. Tell us where we can hook you up. Give us where we can find you. A
Just
base.
find me on Facebook,
Find you
Ola
at
Brown.
Ola Brown
Send
on
me a
Facebook.
message and I'll go, yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you. Let me say thank you. Right, guys, there you have it. My time is almost here. I want to say thanks to my producer. I want to say thanks to my family across the world. Big shout out to you. My cousins, my brother, my sister, big shout out to you guys across the world. And all you guys who actually tune into the program, let me say thank you. Hector, United States. Girl in the United States. Mabel, the United States. All of you guys, the United States. The McPhee family, the Bailey family, the Bailey family, the Campbell family, the Williamson family, the Brown family, the Black family. And so many of us there is. Not forgetting the Campbell family. Let me say big respect to you. And as we say, we are a family of the world. I am what I call a citizen of the world. Let me say Happy New Year. Hope you had a great New Year. Mr. Cross, sir, big shout out to you, Mr. G. Cross. Once again, let me say thank you. God bless you. My time is here. Producer, thank you, sir. Good afternoon. God bless.